Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anamnesis.
Anamnesis.
My name is Mark, and
And my name is Omer, and today we're
I-
gonna talk about
okay,
paradoxes.
I'm so sorry for that. That was a bit of a brain fart on my end. My name is Omer, and this is Mark. And if you've not heard us before, this is our podcast. We're both medical students, and we do this for fun in our free time. And we are here talking about philosophy, religion, science, and medicine. Feel free to drop us in the comments any ideas you have about other episodes, and feel free to subscribe, like, and check out our other episodes before we start this episode. And now I'm just gonna say, how are you doing today, Mark?
All good. It's been a nice Sunday. Now Sunday of studying. How about you?
I'm good. Today I had quite a chill day. I took my cat out for a walk. Yes, I walk my cat. And I just relaxed most of the day. And today, let's just jump right into the topic that we have posed for us today.
Yes.
Today we're speaking about paradoxes, as Mark mentioned earlier. And first of all, what are paradoxes? Would you like to educate us here, Mark?
Well, as far as I know, of course, I'm not giving you a dictionary definition. Paradoxes are basically when you say something which is quite giving us a different, like, it cancels itself as it's being said. For instance, we'll go to religion and we say that there is the paradox of, if the Lord God is
Mm-hmm.
almighty, can he create a rock he can't lift? So this is a paradox because
Yes.
it cancels itself
Yes.
while you say the statement.
Um, the thing is, the definition that the web gives us is that a paradox is a statement or a situation or concept that appears contradictory or self-contradictory, yet may contain a hidden truth. This has brings us to different types of paradoxes. There's the liar liar paradox, the barber paradox, um, and there's many
Which we'll
paradoxes
mention throughout this
we will
episode.
mention throughout the episode. But first, we would like to talk about how paradoxes come to us in our real life. For example, I can think of a very good example of how we can see paradoxes within science. This is talking about if you have never heard of a Schrödinger and his paradox with the cat. It's a thought experiment.
You say Schrödinger?
Schrödinger.
Schrödinger, okay.
Schrödinger, it's the paradox with the cat, where you put the cat in a box that no light can enter or leave, and in that box you put poison milk. There's many different versions of the paradox. I will tell you the version that I've heard. You put a plastic bag with poisoned milk and a radioactive atom in there, like for example, uranium atom. There's a few options that may happen. The cat may tear open the bag, drink the milk, and die. The cat may wait for the plastic to erode and drink the milk and inevitably die. There is another option where he waits for the plastic to erode, he does not drink and he lives, or he dies of radiation poisoning. So, before we open this box, the cat is neither dead or alive. That's what the answer to this paradox states. So it's neither dead or alive. How can that happen? He's stuck in a suspended state of reality. This is applicable to Heisenberg's theory in chemistry, where if you're unaware, and within atoms, there is a central nucleus and electrons around the nucleus. But it's not how the Bohr model shows it with the shells and all that. They're actually within a cloud. It's
Hmm.
like a cloud of electrons. But if you're pinpointing a specific electron within this cloud, you may know its location but not its speed, but you can know its speed but not its location.
Ah, that's basically the, how do you call
It's
this?
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle.
No, there's this chart that you use.
Which
That
chart?
there's this chart that states basically, it's Pascal's role. There's a chart that basically explains that atoms, the concept that atoms may not be exactly on the same orbital and revolve in the
Yeah,
same.
and this you're confusing this with the
That's
subatomic shells.
that's the quantum. Excuse me. That's
This is
the quantum theory.
that's quantum theory. This is the what I'm talking about is quantum theory. You're talking about subatomic shells.
Mm.
That's Planck's constant.
Oh.
Not Planck's constant, it's the idea that the spin has to be unequal and they cannot be in the same shell and they have to fill in a certain order.
Hmm.
If you've done basic chemistry class in high school, you will know this. But this is something that we encounter within science, and that is something that we see with uncertainty being a paradox. So
Hmm.
uncertainty is the paradox in this case. So when in life, I don't see anywhere where paradoxes do hit you. Do you hear of any?
Well, first of all, there is this fact about ethical paradoxes, which I believe most people can relate to. Those things that sometimes you have a dilemma. You have two
I was just
options.
about to stop you right
Yes,
there, because a paradox is not a dilemma, and a dilemma is not a paradox. In that case, you're speaking about dilemmas.
but here's the thing. Imagine an ethical dilemma. I'm sure everyone can think about something which is sort of like this. Imagine a dilemma that can be right
Hmm.
on both ends, like whichever thing you choose can be right.
But it's not contradictory. A
Ah,
paradox is contradictory or self-contradictory.
hmm,
So it contradicts itself.
contradicts itself.
So I don't think that paradoxes are applicable in real life, but they are applicable in science, where I have showed it. I know they are applicable in religion,
Hmm.
where there is the whole paradox of religion being a paradox in itself, the whole idea
Yes.
of religion being a paradox, being a contradictory thing to science.
Hmm.
Sometimes, and sometimes it's not contradictory, but I don't see any paradox in real life. Rather, I see dilemmas.
Hmm.
Like, as you said, there's ethical dilemmas. For example, who do you say first?
Exactly.
A
Exactly. As in
mother
the.
or a child?
Yes.
I
Exactly.
know that most of the time when prioritizing the health of a person, it's usually up to that person to decide. But if a mother is, for example, pregnant, a mother to be, and she has no chance of surviving the pregnancy, they would rather terminate the pregnancy. So in this case, the life of a fetus is worth less than that of the life of a mother, of a living person.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's worthless, I'm saying it's worth less than that life, although there you cannot quantify life. So
Hmm.
that makes the idea of quantification of life paradoxical.
Hmm. You can also like apply to it, add to it a case that you see. I don't know how most countries act, but as far as I know, in Israel, the curriculum and the protocol that hospitals go to when you have uh, a, multi, a multiple injury case, like a
Hmm.
lot of people who are being injured due to disaster or terrorist attack. So if you had per se 50 people
Hmm.
who are in the, let's say, medium type of injury,
Hmm.
and another 50 people who are in they're a hard case, let's say, they are in a more severe type of injury, who would you treat first if you don't have enough staff?
I know that I've actually seen this dilemma on Chicago Med, the TV show,
Mm.
because they had like a multiple car pileup crash and they had many, many people. The way they treated them is whoever came in the door first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whoever got wheeled in first.
Well,
Because they didn't get wheeled in all at the same time, they came in multiple ambulances.
hmm.
So they just, whoever got wheeled in first and whoever they noticed, like, okay, he's conscious, all right, leave him. Move on to the next person. Like, don't even treat his pain. Move on.
Uh,
Let the nurses treat his pain.
hmm,
And the doctors just moved around.
hmm,
That's how I saw them doing it. And also, like, if a patient died, they just die, goodbye. Like, they
hmm,
couldn't wait. Like, if he was losing too much blood, they just kind of gave up on him at that second.
hmm,
And that is, I see it as very unethical. I see as in that case, if you don't have many hands, use the hands of even unexperienced people, of whoever you
hmm.
can, to do as least weird things as possible. Like if you have students from other departments that you can pull, bring them down.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
this is an emergency room.
You're bringing everyone who
Whoever.
has some sort of education or in any ways connected to healthcare,
I, I,
and you do whatever you
I wouldn't
can.
I wouldn't say those people only and only those people. I would also say whoever has, because most people nowadays have some sort of experience with first aid, and most people have done first aid at least
Mm,
once in their life. not saying in the field or in a professional way,
Yeah.
but rather have a first aid like license or certificate. Just ask in the hospital who has it. Because
Hmm.
usually there's people like who are visiting family, and some of them do. So if you can just tell them like, hey, can you come just put your finger in this guy's wound, just hold it.
Yeah. In the same way that happens in airplanes, that they
Hmm.
ask certain people if they can assist the crew in case of an emergency.
Hmm.
So, like in that way. So, this thing is, although this is not exactly a paradox, but it's interesting to talk about, in Israel, as far as I know, the protocol says that you first treat the people who are in a less severe case, in a less severe injury, because they have more
Chance to
chance of
survive.
survival. Yeah, which is sounds weird because if you have someone who's in a more severe condition, you would like to treat him first,
Most likely,
most
yes.
likely. But no. As far as I remember, maybe this is an old protocol. I've heard it
Hmm.
from my sister when she started med school.
I'm pretty sure they have, if they haven't changed it, I would rather petition them to change it because that doesn't make any sense. Because if someone is in a less danger of dying, well, they can wait a couple minutes, can't they?
But that's the thing. Like we're not talking about someone who is in a mild condition. Like I don't know, he has just one scratch from something on his skin and just needs a patch. We're talking about someone who's been shot and someone who's been blown up.
Yeah, well, if someone who's been blown up and, he's losing blood by the second, rather just let him go. If someone's been shot, you can definitely treat a shot wound very quickly as
Yeah.
well.
Of course, some people might say this is unlogical, and of course, that's why opinions exist.
Yes, this is why opinions exist.
Especially in the medical world, the medical field, there are opinions regarding everything, and you can
Hmm.
see a lot of changes
Yeah,
throughout the healthcare systems throughout all countries and
and
regions.
history actually.
Yeah, actually, in history,
In
exactly.
history, you can see that if you had a headache one time, they would drill into your skull. But that is something for another episode. We will actually speak about history of medicine in another episode. It'll be very interesting. So if you would like to hear about that, stick around. So
Yes. So going back to
stick around.
paradoxes.
Back to paradoxes. Now, I want to speak about a dilemma that is a very popular dilemma. There's actually an internet game with it. It's called the trolley problem.
Uh,
Everybody's heard of the famous trolley problem.
it was also a meme
It
for
was also a
a
meme.
a long period until now, I believe. So yeah, it's
I
still a meme, not that
I don't
popular.
think it's still relevant, but because
Hmm.
internet time is insane, it's quick. But in internet time, that meme was 20 years ago, but in real time, that meme was about like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think.
Yes, sort
But
of.
basically, the if you don't know this paradox or dilemma, it's a dilemma where you come up to a track and you see a trolley, which is a type of moving train, and you come upon a lever which can divert the train. On one track that the trolley is going towards, there is five people strapped to it. On the other track, there is one person strapped to it. The question is, do you pull the lever?
Hmm.
A lot of people have come up with many different answers to try to answer this question. Because if you pull the lever, you kill the one person and save five. But when you change the problem a bit, when you give names and different facets or faces to those people, it suddenly becomes a little bit more personal. And funny enough, this game that I'm talking about, there is a whole website that I'm not sure what the URL is, but if you search up trolley problem game on Google, you'll most likely find it. It shows you like 50 or 40 different like ways that the trolley problem can go, and towards the end it gets pretty funny and pretty meme-esque. Like it tells you like you can pull it and then pull it back fast and it can drift and kill everyone. It gets pretty comedic, but once it changes, it's like on one track there is your best friend, on the other track there is your mom. Who do you kill? Like, or on one track there's a newborn baby, on the other track there's a 7-year-old girl. a woman, or in the other track there is one
She's
guy.
still a girl on age 70?
It's a
Damn.
woman.
The wonders of medicine.
I mean, there's so many like different dilemmas that are there. You should totally check it out. But let's just speak about the simple one. What would you do?
Well, we have discussed about it before, not in this podcast, but I said that if I have, let me rewind, I have one person on one
You have
side of the
one person
track
on the track
and
and
five
five.
on the other
The
one.
trolley is now currently going towards the five people, and you can pull the lever to divert to kill the one
So
person.
yes, I'd say that according to my thinking and the way I see things, I'd rather pull it and kill that one person because five, I'd rather save five than save one.
I actually disagree with Mark here. I have heard a different approach to it. I say do nothing. I say walk away, because there's a third option that is never actually mentioned to you if you don't think about it. I say walk away, because if you walk away, there is a difference between doing nothing and walking away. Because I never said to you how you got to the track. You may have just been walking there. You may have just stumbled upon it. Or you were magically teleported there. If you were magically teleported there, pull the lever. But if you were not, like if I was magically teleported and I see this scene, I'm pulling the lever like you. Because I'd rather save five people than kill five people. But if I was just walking about my normal day and, I happen to pass by a train station and I see that, I walk away. I would walk away. I would walk the exact opposite direction of this.
Well, in here I believe that you can put a variable, which is how many people are exactly around this trolley.
That's also a great question. That's how
Because
many people
think
are
about
there?
it, you're the only one over there, and you're the
Again,
only one who can save five people.
if I'm the only one there, I'm still walking away. Because I'd rather be I'd rather not be an active murderer of one and a hero to five than be a hero to one and a killer of five. Because if I don't pull the lever, I do nothing and I'm proactively doing nothing while I'm there, I kill five people.
But here's the thing, aren't you also in some sort part of the murder of. I don't want to say murder because murder is intentional.
Although there's different degrees to murder. There's first, second, and third.
I believe, like, okay, in
This would be
English,
counted toward third degree
I
murder.
know that I don't know if it's the same in English-speaking countries in their legal systems, but I know that in Israel
Manslaughter.
yeah, that's
The,
what we
wo-
call
the
it.
word you're trying to say is manslaughter.
Yeah, because I know in Israel we have a word that describes murder, which is intentionally wanting to kill someone, and there is another word when you do it accidentally, not intentionally.
Accidentally would be manslaughter.
Mm.
Intentionally would be murder, but there's different degrees to murder in the law system. There's murder first, second, and third degree. But this would be manslaughter. If you were to actually pull the lever, you would technically be able to be charged with manslaughter if you were to be testified against.
But here's the thing, like I also think that if you take it to a legal point of view, you can also be
Held.
excuse me, accountable for a crime because you didn't do anything, because you just walked away, you stood on a fence. Actually, in literature we see it that if anyone read the comedian, how do you call it? The book by Dante, the God's comedy, what do you call it?
Huh?
The book by Dante, Dante's
Dante,
Inferno.
Dante's Inferno.
Yes, I was trying to translate it from Hebrew. Dante's Inferno. There is a special place in the first ring of hell, or
Hmm.
before it, that is for the people who did not do anything, who
Right.
just sat there, watched, and didn't do anything about bad things.
Um, I understand, but the thing is with that is, again, if I was there, again, if I was magically transported there, I would pull the lever. But if I'm just going about my day, I would not do anything.
Hmm.
I would rather just walk away and pretend I didn't see anything. Because there's no witnesses, No one can see me at this point. No one can say, hey, you didn't pull the lever.
That's the case. That's what I asked. The variable about how many people are there. Am I alone?
Look, if you're alone
Yeah,
and
that's the thing. Yeah,
just walk away,
yeah,
no one will ever see you.
hmm
Not even the people strapped down to the track,
yeah,
because
yeah,
they can't raise their head and look up who's there.
yeah, yeah.
And if there are other people around, why aren't they doing something about it?
Actually,
Why should I be doing
that's
something
also
about it?
that's also a thing. Like,
It's a variable.
how did they get?
How did they get there?
Yeah, it reminds me of how do you call this horror movie, The Saw.
Saw, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
Kramer.
maybe those people, there is a reason why they're being there. Maybe you're doing a good thing that,
Maybe it's Jigsaw testing me out,
yeah.
Kramer. It was just Halloween, so maybe it's Kramer. But honestly, again, I would just simply do nothing. I would walk away. There's too many moving parts in this dilemma, but ethically, I think the best choice is walk away. But I'm not saying walk away from all your problems. Do not take this into your life as it should be. If you see a person in need and you can help them without harming others, do it. And if it doesn't harm yourself, also do it. It will help you greatly in
Hmm,
life and help others. It's a good Samaritan thing.
hmm,
Right. Now I want to get into some real paradoxes from this dilemma.
exactly.
So, I will introduce my first paradox. I'm going to talk about the Pinocchio paradox.
Hmm.
It's a very simple paradox. It's a type of liar-liar paradox where it's two statements that contradict each other constantly, and it's kind of like saying liar, liar. So, what will happen? I'm going to ask you this question, Mark. What will happen if Pinocchio will say, my nose will now grow? What will happen?
I think that nothing.
Nothing. So
Yeah,
he lied.
he lied. Yeah,
So his nose will grow.
hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, but I think nothing will happen because, okay,
I think he will explode
he'll
personally.
explode.
Yeah, personally, I think he'll just implode rather,
Hmm.
fold inwards, just cause a fucking
Because
black hole.
that's like a case where logic does not apply.
Logic will not apply. A black hole
So,
will form. I'm joking. Neil deGrasse Tyson, please answer my calls. I have black hole theories. Okay, so what do you think will happen?
as I
Because
said, nothing.
there's nothing.
Yeah, because
So his nose will grow.
no, nothing will happen. His nose won't grow.
So if his nose won't grow, that means he's lying. So his nose will grow. But if his nose grows, that means he's telling the truth. You see, the statement can continuously
Wait,
contradict
actually, you know
itself.
what? I'm thinking about it right now. If he says my nose will now grow,
Yeah.
he can't say it because he can't command his nose to grow. So that would be a lie. Wait, so
Yeah.
his nose does
So that
grow.
does grow. This is why it's called a liar-liar
You know what?
paradox.
Now that I think about it, it will
Mhm.
grow and shrink back and grow and shrink back
Forever.
forever.
Forever. So
Yes.
it'll be in perpetual motion.
Yeah.
So another black hole will form.
Like, yeah, like
Do you know what
forward,
perpetual
backward.
motion is?
Yeah, I
So another black hole will form.
know.
So this is the problem with liar liar paradoxes. There is no answer. Nothing makes sense. This is absurd. The whole idea of these liar liar paradoxes, how I see it, is to show you that contradictory statements can exist and coexist and somehow not exist. It's absurd to think that these statements are in fact plausible, but in the same way improbable.
Hmm.
So this is the whole idea of liar-liar paradox. I will pose another kind of liar-liar paradox. This is a two-in-one type deal. They're both
Hmm.
talking about time travel, which is impossible. Um, Never try it.
To this point,
Time travel will always and continuously be impossible, and we will speak about that in a different episode because I have a crazy tinfoil hat theory about it.
right now, there might be a time traveler listening to it and being like, ha ha ha. Those
Exactly.
stupid guys in 2024.
That might be a thing, but if it was, please do comment down below.
Or
Um,
appear right now in this time in,
no,
yeah,
no. Okay, he's not appearing.
in 11:31. Lithuania clock.
Oh my God, you just doxed us. Great.
Hey, they don't know what city, mate.
True. So,
Klaipeda. I'm kidding.
Vilnius.
Or am I?
So basically, um, the whole idea of this paradox that I had just introduced a minute ago, which was the grandfather paradox, is what'll happen if you go back in time and kill your grandfather?
Ah, as I would obviously do.
What?
No, I won't. Like, why? Okay, I want to look at it from a logical
Who
aspect.
would do that?
Why would you do that?
Logically, why?
Yeah, like, why would you want to murder your grandfather if you understand how time works?
Okay, so the idea of the grandfather paradox is you go back in time and you kill your grandfather.
Yes.
So, who killed your grandfather? Because if you go back in time and kill your grandfather, that means your father would never have been born. Therefore, you would have never been born. So, therefore, there would have been no one to kill your grandfather.
Yes.
I actually have a bit of an answer to this paradox.
Okay.
This plays with the idea of the multiverse theory, if you are a believer in that, and also the
Hmm.
idea of multiple timeline theories.
Hmm.
So think for a moment, come with me on this journey, and think for a moment that time is a continuous line.
Hmm.
And now, when I travel back in time and kill my grandfather, I cause a tangent in that line. I cause a splitting point within that timeline. A timeline which I was never born and my grandfather was killed.
Hmm.
When I go back to the time I was there, I continue living as I was, and my grandfather in my timeline is still alive.
Hmm.
Because logically, he would have needed to stay alive to have to make me,
Yes.
to be me.
To bear the child which is your father, that he could bear the child which is you.
Exactly. So I say that this creates a tangent. What do you think about this?
Frankly, I don't know. Like, okay, here's the thing that I'm looking at over here. That if there are parallel universes,
Hmm.
how can they collide? It sounds like,
Not rather collide. This is why they're called parallel universes. Parallel lines, the definition of parallel lines is lines that will never touch.
yeah, but if a subject, let's
Yeah?
say a person, or even an object
Hmm.
that comes from one universe to the other, isn't that a collision between those two universes? Because, for instance, our universe, as far as I know, does not contain unicorns in it.
Right, but maybe another universe does.
Yes, so isn't that a collision if, for some reason, from another universe, a unicorn appears over here, right now? A real life unicorn.
Don't think of it like that, okay? Because you're
Okay.
thinking a little bit too fantasy. I want you to think a little bit more logically.
Okay,
Rather,
good Hitler.
plausible.
Hmm.
There is a universe out there where the Holocaust never happened.
Yeah, and Hitler was a great painter,
And
and
he
he has a
went on,
university named after him.
and there's a
People,
street.
yeah, Hitler Street.
Like this is something great. This would be a utopia of a universe or a dystopia. You never know.
Yeah,
You never know. But think of it more smaller. Yourself.
even okay, my
There's
family.
another universe out there where you died yesterday.
Huh.
There's another universe when while you were eating your chicken shawarma, you choked to death.
Hmm.
There is another universe out there where you got shot.
Hmm.
There's another universe out there where you got mugged and died. There's multiple universes and multiple versions of you, and this is what the multiverse theory talks about.
Yeah, but once again, do you think there could be like
I
if
think
they're parallel, can there be a collision between them?
not a collision, rather a shift.
A shift,
So
okay.
think of it like there's multiple straight lines, which is timelines, and because of some events, we shift. And this is where we get the Mandela effect from. Where
Hmm.
Mandela effect, if you're not sure what it is, again me with the tinfoil hat theories, the
We
Mandela
should really make a sound for it, like
effect.
a crinkle of a tinfoil whenever you say it.
Again, me with the tinfoil hat theories. But here's the paradox, not paradox, Christ. The Mandela effect. This is the whole idea that people believe wholeheartedly that Nelson Mandela died in prison. But actually, he went on to serve a term as the president of South Africa and then peacefully died in his house.
Yes.
In about, I think it was like 2014. If I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken, I was a child. I was living in Africa.
I was in the sixth grade back when it happened. I
I
remember
th
it correctly.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, you're 2 years older than me. I was in the fourth grade.
Hmm.
I remember we held an assembly at my school because I lived in Zimbabwe.
For some reason, my school too, although I lived in Israel. For some reason, I don't
Because
know.
he was hailed as a great leader of some kind. I don't know. I don't think he was a great leader. I think he had a lot of flaws in his plan, but that's just my opinion, and we will speak about that in a different episode about leaders. But this is the whole thing. This is what I believe the Mandela effect is. We
Hmm.
shifted. And
Hmm.
why some people remember it one way and others remember it the other way, it's because they came from that universe. They shifted themselves. So
Like a
some
universe where this did happen.
they came
Hmm.
from that universe.
Hmm.
So this is the shift. Like these are the people that accidentally got caught in the
And it's an
shift.
exact universe as we live in, but in their universe,
It was
this
just a
happened.
slight change. Every universe is parallel to itself, but there's a slight change within one. So think of it this way. There is a universe somewhere out there that is part of our multiverse living the exact same life as us, where instead of the sky being blue, it's purple.
Hmm. Like, I wonder how it will affect people because we know that color does have sort of influence on the way people.
If we shift into that universe, that is going to be a holy shit of a shift. But this is a huge change. I'm talking about very small things. For example, the Monopoly man never having a monocle. I remember him having a monocle.
Pikachu, that's actually a one Mandela effect. Pikachu not having a stripe on his
Yeah,
tail.
I remember that too. I
Yeah,
remember him having
yeah.
its stripe.
I also remember the stripe, but there is no stripe.
I also remember Kit Kat. Like, I remember a dash.
Ah, right.
There was
Yeah,
a dash.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure there was a dash.
yeah.
I'm also 100% sure it was the Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstain Bears.
Hmm.
Like, it's
You know,
all.
it also reminds me of another thing that might be connected to what you're saying, to the theory about where does the effect of deja vu come from.
Yes, I think deja vu is rather a thing that your past, not past self, your multiversal self has seen before and
Yes.
is rather warning you. And this also goes into another theory, which is if you've never heard of it, it's I think it's called the look into the void. It's when you stand on like an edge or a platform of a train and you have like a little voice in your head telling you jump.
Hmm.
I think that's because a multi-version of yourself actually did.
But why would you jump?
I think
It's illogical. Totally
again, it's
illogical.
illogical, but then why do people commit suicide?
Okay, that's the thing that I remember I read about it. Why suicide is viewed upon so harshly because it's a completely unlogical thing to do because every living organism does everything, but everything to maintain survival and
Hmm.
live.
Yeah,
And doing suicide, it's intentionally hurting yourself.
exactly.
And that's why it's the most unlogical thing to do. And that's why it's so weird and
And
so.
I would just like to add, if you are feeling suicidal or feeling any type of way, please, I beg you, go talk to someone you trust. Go talk to a trusting adult. Please go to therapy. Do what you need to do. Please do not hurt yourself. We want you to be all healthy and all good all the time. And if you do need to confide in somebody, please write us a message in the comments. We'll be very happy to speak with you.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Um, right, let's get back to paradoxes. And now I want to talk about
Mathematical
not
paradoxes.
yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
I want to talk about the ship.
Ah, okay, the ship. That one I really like when you presented it to me. I've heard it
Um,
before, but I'd really like to talk about it.
Ship of Theseus.
Yeah, that's the name of the
So, Ship of
paradox.
Theseus. It There's many versions of it, but I like the very simple version. Just saying, imagine you are a ship owner. You have a
Yes.
ship. Your ship is brand new, it's yours, you love it.
Not even a
Now,
name.
huh?
The MS.
The MS Unsinkable.
The MS Unsinkable,
The
exactly.
MS Unsinkable 2.
Yeah.
So the MS Unsinkable 2, please understand, do you get the joke?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. I hope some of you guys got a good laugh about it too. Um, so the MS Unsinkable 2, you decide that every time a part gets a little bit, even slightly wonky, you change it. So if there is like a little movement in your floors, you take the whole floor, you change it.
You're a very rich
You're a
ship
very
owner.
rich ship owner. Imagine you're the Bill Gates of ships. So now you've changed every single nut and bolt in this whole ship, and you were smart. You kept all the parts in a storage.
Hmm.
You take all the parts and you build another ship. It is identical to your first ship, to the MS Unsinkable. So therefore, which is the original ship? This one messes me up all the time.
It brings me back to our previous topic
Which one?
because you just said the topic about
What?
about multiple universes.
Yeah,
So we said that there is the MS Unsinkable 2, which is the brand new one,
yeah.
and the other one that you built from all the wrecked parts of the first ship. So that's the MS Unsinkable 1!
Technically, yes, but
And it's cockeyed, that's why it's synced, and you have the MS Unsinkable 2 now.
technically, yes.
Like you're in a retrospect building your future.
Yeah, in retrospect, you are building your future. So you kind of built your future from your built your past from your future.
Yes.
I don't know, it's weird. But all I'm saying,
Yes.
answer the goddamn question, which is the original ship? I say neither.
Well, it's the original one. The
'Cause
the one you built from the original
the
parts.
one you built from the original parts.
Yes.
But it's it was built from parts from the original ship.
It was built from parts from the original ship. Yeah, that's why this one is the original.
Um, this uh, this is the problem. I say neither, like neither are
Neither
the
are
true.
original.
Neither are original because they were both built from completely separated parts, which are unrelated to one another. So the only relation that these parts have is that maybe this part specifically was once connected to the part on the other ship, but now it no longer is. It's
Hmm.
like building a computer and giving your friend this, like exchanging CPUs with your friend.
Huh.
So you just gave your friend your CPU and he gave you his CPU.
Actually, you can think about it like the way I am looking at it now. Okay, you've put work right
Yeah,
now into building this new ship from the old parts
yeah.
of the of the MS Unsinkable 2.
hmm
So that's a completely new ship.
So it's a new ship.
Yeah, it's a new ship because you've put work into it and you have an experience with it of building this new ship from the old parts. So yeah, that's enhancing your opinion that neither is the original one
Yeah, this
because
is
it
what I
gives it
think.
a new taste because you've put work hours into building the new one.
This is why I think neither is the original ship.
Yeah,
So,
actually, yeah.
so we've solved this paradox. Thank you guys very much. We would like our Nobel Prize now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I would like my
Right now.
prize right
Right
now.
now. They're
Right now.
coming all the way here.
I just ship it here.
All the way here to random city.
Insert random Lithuanian city.
A certain random Lithuanian city.
Insert, you idiot.
Latvian.
Latvian?
Latvian. We're in Latvia, not Lithuania. I was mistaken.
You're right, we're in Ukraine.
Like, I think most people who are listening to us right now don't know where it is.
They,
They're like,
they have,
this country? What?
where is that?
Where is it?
You guys live in Latvia? I've heard that so many times.
Yeah, people mistake those all the time.
All right. So,
Yes!
mathematical paradoxes.
Exactly.
I actually, funny enough, I published a paper on a mathematical paradox.
Of course, because you love math so
I
much.
do. I am a math guy. I love my numbers, and
No, you're not.
I do love numbers.
Okay.
I
Uh,
do.
Especially when there's a dollar sign next to it.
You're just
Everybody loves.
you're just calling me violently Jewish right now. I think my favorite words in this world are free, sale, and not mine. Like those are
You know this joke about what's the best drink?
what's the best drink?
Yeah.
Free, not mine or stolen.
Or you can also say the one somebody else paid for.
The one somebody else paid for. All right, so
Yes.
mathematical paradoxes. We're going to talk about I think two, and I have a third one, kinda, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to drag this episode out too long.
Yes.
Okay, so first mathematical paradox. This is the birthday paradox. So if you're unaware of this paradox, you can actually check this paradox out yourself in the real world. This paradox states that within a room of 23 people, there is a 50% statistical chance that two of them share the same birthday. Now, that is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's completely odd. I don't remember like once in my whole life that I've met someone with the exact same birthday as me.
I've actually met maybe five or six people who have the exact same birthday as me.
Okay, interesting.
And that is extremely likely. Like in a room of 365 different people, there is a 100% chance. That is the
Hmm.
100% statistical chance. But it's actually crazy to think about that once there are only 100 people within this room,
Hmm.
do you know what that chance jumps to?
What?
92%.
Okay, so we make the number of people lower, and this increases the chance.
Not increases the chance. If there's 365 people in a room,
Yes,
there's a 100% chance.
there's a 100%
There's
chance.
100 people within this room. There's 92% chance.
Ah, okay, so it decreases it. Okay,
It decreases it very slightly.
yeah,
But the problem is, it's so slight. So the
yes.
way this conjecture actually works is very, very funny. It's very odd. It's it also works in cybersecurity. It's how hash keys have to be extremely long to not be broken if you don't know what a hash key is.
Yeah.
It's what codes your personal name and data. Each person has their own hash key on the web.
Hmm.
So, like your name has a hash key. This video has its own hash key. And if you somehow manage to pierce this hash key, you have now access to our video. Like you could edit our channel, you can do whatever you want. But this hash key is basically unbreakable because you will not find an identical hash key. And this was actually something that they had to think about when making systems. And this is something that actually caused a virus and a crash
Hmm.
because of this paradox.
Huh.
Because people were able to breach things very easily because there is a finite number of hash keys. So they were very easily able to pierce them.
Yes, yes. As far as I remember, there is those hackers that use I
It's
think it's
called brute
called
force
yeah
attacks.
brute force attacks exactly. That you can just
They just run it for
throw
hours
an algorithm, let it run for hours until it reaches something which
until it reaches the
the
password or
password. Yeah.
whatever. So the longer your hash key is, the more time it will take. Some
Hmm.
of them, it will even take a computer about 1 billion years to break, which will be much past your own time and your children and children's of children and children of children. It'll take billions of years. I don't think you understand how big the number billion is with a B. So, this whole thing of this paradox, why is it called a paradox? It's because it seems unlikely or contradictory that this will happen. And this birthday paradox, what it does, the way this algorithm works, is it measures every single person with every other person. It compares
Hmm.
until there is a match found. So think of it like a circle, and you put the birthdays on the circle, and you just kind of draw a line between each of them, and kind of say like, okay, yes, 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 no, if they have the same birthday or not.
Hmm.
And with 23 people, it's 50%. If you're more interested in this, Vsauce actually made a very interesting video about it, where they
Shout out to
shout out to
Vsauce.
Vsauce. They're amazing. I love their stuff. They make very good intellectual content. I would highly recommend checking out Vsauce and subscribing to them. Um, I don't think they need the shout out. We need the shout out from them more, but I'm still gonna give them credit where credit is due because most of my written work that I did was most of the stuff that he taught me, that Vsauce taught me, Michael from Vsauce. Actually, it was Kevin from Vsauce
Mm.
2. I used whatever he said to write my
Do they
paper
have
on
an
it.
actual sauce?
What?
Do they have an actual
That
sauce?
would be an amazing marketing thing, and we should
Yeah,
definitely
an
email them
actual
about it.
sauce.
Vsauce,
Like
that would
imagine
be
going to the store and buying a V sauce.
what? What flavor would it have?
Okay, something with a V.
Like
I'm
a
thinking about
Virginia style barbecue sauce?
that could be, yeah, Virginia style barbecue sauce. Yeah.
I don't even think Virginia has type of bar. I would think it'd be like a hot sauce.
I'm thinking about a food with a V. A venison sauce.
Venison is like it's like pigeon kidneys or something like that. That's
Mm,
weird. Who eats that?
I don't know. I'm just running through words right
All
now.
right, whatever. So now I'm gonna
Next
skip.
episode, talking
Not
about
next.
sauces.
This is Anamnesis. Today we're talking about Vsauce. Will they ever have a sauce? And we're gonna be talking about hot ones. Their sauce, the last dab. I'm really, really waiting for the day to pull a prank on you and buy extremely spicy hot sauce and just put a dab of it on your food.
You know that I like spicy food.
I know that you like spicy food, but I just want to buy something that's like horrendously spicy. I think it would be really funny if we do the one chip.
Oh damn.
They have a one chip here.
Oh really?
Yeah, we should go buy it and do
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna buy it. Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so that would be uploaded on our channel at some point. We might film a one chip as a joke.
Yes.
All right, so
Next
last
paradox.
last paradox and the one to close it off. This is the infinite hotel paradox.
Yes.
This paradox actually met me when I was in middle school, and I actually revisited it later in life. The infinite hotel paradox states that there is a hotel with infinite number of rooms that can fit an infinite number of guests. What happens if one guest walks in and asks for room number one, but room number one is occupied and every other room is occupied? So what do? You ask every person to move one room to the right and you let him use room number one, but they would have to move to the right an infinite amount of times,
Hmm.
which makes it paradoxical because you logically cannot move an infinite amount of times.
Yes.
Now, what happens if an infinitely large bus comes to the infinite room hotel with an infinite number of guests? Because there's no infinity that's bigger than infinity.
Yes. Because infinity is
It's like it's
infinity.
like saying, would you rather have an infinite number of dollar bills or an infinite number of $20 bills? You're actually being given the same infinity,
Yes.
just in different forms.
Hmm.
I would take the $20 bills just for, you know, not argument's sake, but for comfort's sake. I prefer that denomination. I don't want to be paying with dollar bills all the time. But I would take the 20s because it's easier to pay with the 20s. But
Yes.
not necessarily meaning that that infinity is bigger than that, they're the same. But not all infinities are equal. Again, if this infinity people came into this hotel, what will happen? Again, same thing. We just ask each person that's already in a room to move one room to the right.
What about rooms being prepared?
Rooms being prepared,
Yeah,
like
like
built.
after you. No, I'm talking about like, for instance,
Look, if this is
the
an,
room is not available because someone needs to clean the room after the guest. Wait, what about guests that are leaving?
I mean,
They go
whoever's
away.
there's certain, but this is like again, this is a thought
Ah,
experiment, so the
yeah.
logic doesn't really apply here very
Uh,
much.
Yet we're using logic
We're trying
to
to use logic.
explain it.
This is mathematical, this is logic, this is all not real, not real, not real, not real, not real, don't have an existential crisis. All right.
Okay.
So now I'm about to make Mark have an existential crisis. There's an infinity bigger than infinity.
There is an infinity bigger than
The
infinity.
distance between 0 and 1.
Distance between 0 and 1. Yeah, I get it now.
There's
Yeah.
an infinity bigger than infinity. Count from 0 to 1.
From 0 to 1,
Just count.
0.1, 0.2,
No.
What?
You missed out 0.000000000000000.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So you
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, that's infinity.
that's infinity. But that infinity is technically bigger than another infinity. Does that therefore mean that this infinite hotel have half rooms, quarter rooms, 16th rooms, 32?
No.
Is it only whole infinities?
Yes.
So it's
Like
a whole
in
number infinity.
once again, because we're like the way I look at it, we're dealing with rooms,
So it has
not
to be whole.
numbers. What?
It has to be a whole number.
Yes.
Okay, so again, there's no infinity bigger than infinity,
Because
except that
what
infinity.
is a 0.1 room? What
I don't know.
for small people?
I don't know for
For 0.1 people?
vertically challenged individuals.
I'm sorry, people who are vertically
Short.
challenged, short. I don't know what's the PC term that you use.
You're short, dwarf, midget.
Okay.
I'm getting us demonetized.
Sorry.
Thank you, YouTube. All right. Last thing I wanted to say is related to this paradox, and then we'll close out the episode. So, I'm gonna give you an idea. You're
Yes.
standing 100 meters away from a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to walk towards the wall, but I want you to half the distance every time.
Walk towards the
The whole, but only do it in half distances. So first of all, you walk
50
50
meters.
meters, 25 meters, 12.5 meters, 6.25 meters. Now you're this far away from the wall. Now you're therefore then 3
Yeah.
point
So this is the thing that you can divide everything
by half.
forever.
You will never reach the wall.
Yes.
This is what's known as a function that approaches infinity.
Isn't it called the Planck unit? Something like that?
There's a unit that's really, really, really small of distance. I forgot what it's called, but I saw it recently. It's a very, very small unit, and that is
Mm-hmm.
like the size of like how close you can literally get to the wall. But mathematically, not like logically, there's a thing that's known as like a function that approaches infinity. So
Mm-hmm.
like there's a function that approaches zero. So if you look at it on like a graph, it will go down and then approach the zero but never touch it.
Yeah, it
And it
will
will continue to
continue.
infinity. But it will
Mm-hmm.
never, ever, ever, ever touch that zero. And this is used in differential maths
Yeah. Th-
when integrating and doing derivatives and all
This
that.
one I remember from 11th grade or 10th. I don't remember when I've learned it.
I did it whilst doing my half degree in maths.
Should I tell everyone how old are you?
No, please don't. All right.
You
Anything else
small
you
child.
anything else you want to add about today's episode?
Thank you everyone who was listening to this. This episode, as far as I think, is a bit challenging on the brain.
Yes, it is very
Yike.
challenging. It causes you to think a lot, and I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. If you have anything else you want to add to us and let us know, please tell us in the comments down below. If you liked this episode and enjoyed it, please do join the channel, subscribe and like, and turn on those bell notification sounds, baby. Now,
Next episode is a mystery. We're not telling you this time.
we will not tell you what next episode is, and we will see you all next week.
Bye,
Bye.
intellectuals.
Goodbye, intellectuals.